Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I want to show you around the Land Rover as we're doing our 5-week trip to Scotland. So I'm going to do this nice load-out video, show you all the bits and pieces we're taking, see what you think. If you've got any suggestions, if I need anything else, or if I've covered it pretty much. So me and Mrs. Bushwhack have been preparing for a while and finally got all the bits together. So I'm going to show you around, get everything out of here and show you what we're taking for our 5-week trip. So we're doing the North Coast 500, starting at Inverness and then heading west and then heading north and following the west coast. So it'll be a great trip, really excited. You know me, a lot of big kid with all my gear, so I really wanted to share this with you. Show you all my bits and pieces. You know, if you're new to the channel, this will be really exciting because you haven't seen, you know, half of my gear. So let's crack on. So the back of Land Rover, I'm utilising the space for storage. So this is all my cooking facilities. I've got some charcoal for the Dutch oven. I've got that on a tray, so I'll put all the charcoals on there. Have a cook up on there. I've got the gas, double gas burner with hot plates there, running off the 3 spare gas bottles, 3.9 kilo propane. So that should be loads. That will help with our heating as well when we got it in the Oz tent or the wraparound awning. I've got a little 901 with a head when we pull up and just want a quick brew or something quick to eat. So really nice and portable. Nice little handle on there as well, so that's ideal. And then this box, in conjunction with this, we've got a little brew kit. So we've got coffee, nice little kettle there, sits on there. Oh, I'm getting excited. It's been a long time, long awaited for when we bought the Land Rover. You know, I love getting everything ready for it, so it's going to be a great trip. Got a little Primus stove, so this will be great as well. Another little portable stove, so this will come in really useful. Just screws into one of these. I've got propane butane mix, so we've got 2 of these, and we can go off. I've got a little rucksack, we can go off and we can have a cook up away from the Land Rover. So I thought that was quite a must. So that's a nice quick and easy box to pull out the van for a little brew kit. And then the mighty Kelly kettle. We're an area where we can access wood. I'll use this, save on the gas. So that'll be ideal. A little hobo stove as well for a nice little cook up. So lots of things we can do with that. That's definitely a must in the Landy. So that predominantly covers, you know, all my cooking scenarios. You know, firewood, gas, different types of gas stove. Got a, you haven't seen this before, it's my little tripod. I'm going to get 3 pieces of wood actually for the Landy and leave them on top so I can make a tripod. and hang it off of this chain, clip it on and hang the Dutch oven if we're in an area where there's plenty of firewood. So I think that pretty much covers it. I think we won't be short of a bit of heat and a bit of fuel. But I do like these. Awesome little 901s. A friend of mine dug them out the other day, so he gave them to me for the trip. And obviously these as well. So we've got plenty of gas. You know, I don't like to be worrying about gas when you're away. If you're a bit cold and you want to dry your clothes out or whatever, it's always best to take more than you need. That's my opinion anyway. So that's my cooking, heating area of the Landy. So we move on to the next bits. Loving it. Hope you're enjoying it, guys. Hope you're finding it interesting, and obviously in the comments if there's anything to add or take away, feel free to comment. In this box it's got pots and pans, me bush pot, nice little Tupperware container. If anything's left over we can seal it up and keep it for the next day. Frying pan, a few cooking utensils, chopping board, some cleaning items, another bowl and a chopping board. So sort of cooking utensils, that kind of leads on from a cooking equipment. And I forgot this, I think this should be in the last section, but that's my fire grate. So if we do build an open fire, we got a nice grate to put over, so that'll be handy. It stands up on its own. If you haven't seen this before, this is in my other videos using it. So this is sort of Mrs. Bushwhacker's department. So yeah, oh, and we got a few, I can't go for every single thing because it would be hours of video, but a few skewers in case we make kebabs. So we're pretty much covered in the cooking area. That's my main concern really, that we're well fed for 5 weeks. So in these boxes it's all our spices and dry stores. Because we're not carrying a fridge, we're going to have to eat a lot of dry foods, long life foods. So I'll open these boxes up and you can see roughly what we're taking. We're only taking a cool box, well, a cool bag, so that will give us, you know, a couple of days of fresh meat. We're going to freeze it before we go, and then obviously find a few shops on the way and cook as we mean to go like that. So we got before we go as well, we got to do one final shop, but this is kind of the bulk of our food items. Like I said, no fridge, so everything's got to, you know, be preserved. Dry stores. So some rolls there. We had them in Wales on our Wales trip. They were awesome. Don't need a fridge. So it's lunch to go. They're quite nice for snacks. You just stop off and you want a quick bite to eat. Obviously the good old pot noodle. We've got some biscuits. Some crisps. Some pancake mix. We'll make some of that up as well. That's a great meal in the mornings. So we've got a soluble meal there. Bertrand, if we're a bit busy or tired, we can mix some of that up with water. We've got ourselves a complete meal there. So there's about 3 meals in there. That's great. A few walnuts. So what we're planning to do in the morning is we'll probably mix up a nice load of porridge. That'll be our breakfast, and obviously throw in a few walnuts. some raisins. That's quite a substantial meal in the mornings. Can't keep eating bacon and sausage every morning, which will be lovely. Some Marvel. Obviously, you know, we haven't got a fridge, so we're going to have to mix up our own milk. That's great. So it's a totally different way of thinking for me. Travelling with, you know, no fridge, because we're going for 5 weeks. But obviously there'll be shops up there as well, so we've got the best of both worlds. That's the beauty I love about the Land Rover. You are self-sufficient. You don't have to rely on, you know, restaurants or cafes. You can just have everything on board, which is great. It's convenient. You know what you're eating. You're not going to get food poisoning, and it saves you a lot of money. So nice bit of kitchen foil for jacket potatoes. Nice bag of granola. You know, like I said, we can mix and match with other products. So mix it up in the mornings, bit of porridge, and another time a bit of granola. Nice tub of sugar. And a spare pot. That's the pot we use in the morning to mix up our milk, our Marvel. And we'll keep that, that'll last us all day. The cool bag. And then in this box, just condiments, salad cream, a bit of olive oil, some nice spices, herbs and spices, garlic, black pepper, seasoning, and then the good trusty wipes, really handy to take. So nice for a little wipe down. They're awesome, I like them. Rubbish bags for all our litter or any litter that we see on the way. Have a bit of a clean up. Good old washing up liquid. And a bit of maple syrup. So that's predominantly that box. So in the last food box, we've got some fajitas. You know, we get hands on some chicken or whatever, we can knock them up. Peanut butter, some flour, some more pancake mix, long life milk, tuna. It's a great meal, long life. Plenty of mackerel fillets. I do like mackerel. We've got some long lasting bread as well, so mackerel on toast, which I really like. It's a great meal. And then potato and cheese and bacon meal. Just put that in the frying pan, you've got yourself a meal. So you can get by without a fridge. And obviously a selection of soups and some beans in that one. So that's pretty much it for the food storage. So that's all the kit so far. I'm going to keep dragging bits out. So this is kind of our hygiene, how we're going to keep ourselves kind of clean for the duration, 5-6 weeks. So we've got a nice bowl here for washing up. Then we've got a nice wash bowl, collapsible, for having a wash. We've both got a wash kits each, all bits and pieces in there, soaps, toothpaste, shampoo, washing equipment. This is Mrs. Bushwhacker's one, she's got a mirror in there as well. We've got one of them each. That's my one. Same kind of thing, flannel, soap, toothpaste, and a good trusty toilet roll. That's another thing, you know, how many toilet rolls do you take? So we got 9 in there, and then we got another 4, so that should do us for a while. And obviously a tray can be used for all sorts of purposes. So kind of our wash setup. But no, so looking forward to this trip. Hope you're enjoying the video, having a nose through all our bits and pieces. It's hard when you're planning a trip to know what to take and the quantities to take. But no, it's going to be great. But years ago, me and Mrs. Bushwhacker, we had a nice overlanding trip. We had a big motorhome. We went off to Turkey for 6 weeks. So that was an awesome trip. I wish I videoed that. I did video it, but you know, YouTube wasn't around then, and there was no editing software or nothing. So, but we have got that. One day I might try and dig that out. That was an awesome trip. So I'm really looking forward to this one. You know, we've got the Land Rover now, and obviously all the bits and pieces and all the kit and the knowledge, so let's go and do it. Right, let's crack on, get some more stuff out. We've bought a couple of stools with us. These are ideal. Just pull them out the landy, and you got yourself a nice seat or a nice little table, do food prep on or whatever, or even to stand on to get to the top of the landy, to the roof rack. So I really like these. You know, we had one, and then luckily by chance we went to Lidl's the other week and they had these for sale, so I had to buy another one. This one's quite nice, it's got a little handle on it as well. So these are really practical, really practical piece of kit. Like I said, lots of uses, but you can't beat having a seat. You know, you just pull up after a travel and you just want to sit down and have a coffee or whatever. So great, they're coming with us. And they fold up quite nicely. Look, there's 2 there. So they're ideal. So this is one of the most important items to take, you know, on our trip is water. So we've got 15 litres in each of these and 10 litres in here. So we've got about 4 to 5 days of water on board. You know, eventually I might get an onboard tank on the landy. I'll see how I go, but this will see us through to 4 to 5 days. Obviously we're not going really remote, so we can top up in garages and shops, but there's plenty here to see us through. But very valuable water. So that's my 3 containers, and they're excellent because they got the little tap on them as well on these 2. And this one's 10 litres, you know, more portable. If I've got to walk somewhere to get water, transfer this into these. Right, so that's water. So that's how it's looking so far. In this waterproof stuff sack we've got spare bedding, so that's living in the passenger area. That's ideal, you know, 5 weeks in case it gets damp or want to change something out, so that's nice. In a nice waterproof stuff sack, so a nice spare quilt there, pillowcases. So all this gear here, guys, is when we go off hiking or go away from the landy in conjunction with the gas stove. So I've got some ground mats, my new tent, my new pyramid by DD, that's awesome, that's coming with us. Hammock and tarp, a ground mat, another ground mat, my little hiking bag, so all that will go in here with some food so we can go off for the day. Nice walking pole for the tent, and Mrs. Bushwhacker's got her, oh sorry, I forgot this as well, this is a little camelback, so if I've got to go off and get water or we go for a hike, I've got that as well. Mrs. Bushwhacker's got her selection: tarp, hammock, and a super light tent. Both got a ridge line each for the tarp, and she's got her walking pole there as well, and her little Maxpedition bag for going off for a walk, or if we go down the shops or whatever. Ideal. So we're quite covered away from the Land Rover as well. And obviously, you know, we're in a nice location. I want to put the hammock up against the Land Rover. That'll be awesome. You know, with all this kit, a couple of tents and that, I'm hoping to come away from the landy, you know, 1 or 2 days and go and camp on the beach or something like that. So I thought that'll be ideal. That covers another scenario of going away from the vehicle. That's going to be great. There's some lovely beaches where we're going, and we got access to them. You know, we might want to camp on them, or might be a nice woodland. We want to set the hammock up and the tarp and sleep outside, depending on the weather. I thought that was essential to take them pieces, and a couple of tents each as well. We can always take one tent, and you know, they're big enough for me and Ange. So yeah, so that's that bit covered. So these are all our torches that we use: head torches, magnetic torches, all rechargeable. So everything will be charged off this 110 amp hour battery. Just got 2 crocodile clips with the cigarette lighter attachment with a USB. So all these can be charged from here. So that's our main source of power. And obviously the engine from the car. And I've got a little portable solar panel. So there's the 15 watt solar panel. I'll have that out or in the cab. Keep everything topped up. And our camera batteries as well will be coming off of the leisure battery, and obviously the solar. And we've got 3 portable solar banks. They're coming along with us. 1 solar as well. There's 3 of them. So hopefully we won't run out of power. But I know we took a couple of these to Wales and they were quite ample for our trip. Obviously we've got more equipment to charge now. But no, nice selection of torches. All rechargeable, which is great. You don't have to faff around getting batteries. So we've got plenty of light. And these are great because they can hang up, have them around the awning and stuff. Great torch. Just plug in there, charge up, and you're ready to go. So these 3 containers, sort of bits and pieces really. These sort of live at the back, as and when we drag them out when we need them. Not so essential, but still really handy. Got a water purifier there if we do get stuck for water. Obviously there's a lot of locks in Scotland, so gaining water from that. That's a great piece of kit. Some fire logs, instant light. There's no wood around in some of the areas, you know, it's deforestation, so there's no wood. So that's quite handy for a fire. Trusty WD-40. Spare fuses. Book there, Mrs. Bushwhacker. Nice cable ties. Just bits and pieces of tools in there. Fluorescent jackets. We break down on the roadside. Spare bulbs, bungees, a ratchet, spare gas there. Nice game there, battleships. for the old wet evenings or wet days. Me and Mrs. Bushwhacker can battle it out. So just bits and pieces really in here, spare patches for the thermarest in case we get punctures in them. That's that box. In here, just our cutlery really, knives, forks, spoons, and that one. This one, more WD-40, spare towel, some webbing for the roof rack, spare ones, obviously we've got to lash something else down, some spare line, Gorilla tape, wind up radio, a mallet for the pegs, and a couple of spare, I've got pegs up on the roof rack, but a couple of spare heavy duty pegs, always handy to have. And a bit of spare cordage there, and a whole reel of paracord. That's nice to take with you. So it's surprising what you can get in the Landy. This is just the back area. Still got a few more bits to show you. So I'm taking a bit of fishing gear with me. It's my little telescopic rod. And a few lures. Never know, might be able to catch some dinner. And binoculars. I'm really hoping to get these out and capture a golden eagle or a white-tailed eagle. Be really nice. So hopefully I'll get some nice nice shots of nature through them. Well, some nice vision of nature, should I say. So they're essential. So we talked about the first essential piece of kit, in my opinion, is water. So the second essential piece of kit, in my opinion, can you guess? Come on, shout it out. What do you think it is that we should have in the Landy? Got there yet? Well, here it is. Mosquito head net. So we've got one each and a spare. So this one just straight over like that. Hopefully I don't have to wear it, but it might be quite bad. So I hope you guess right, guys. So they're on board. And cheers Moses, loving the hat. I don't know if you guys can see it, but one of our subscribers, Moses, made me this lovely hat. Cheers Moses, loving it. So this is kind of our pills bag really. This lives in the back of the Landy, hanging up on the side wall. So we got a selection of painkillers, Nurofen, paracetamol, ibuprofen, some Tums for indigestion, nothing worse than heartburn or indigestion, so we've got them on there. Always good to take. And naproxen, quite a potent painkiller, so we've got them on board as well, just in case. Always good to have a selection of painkillers, especially as we're away for 5-6 weeks. Just never know, do you? So that lives in the back. So this is our other bag, not predominantly first aid, but things related to it and sundries. So we've got some clothes wash in there, bit of eye wash, mosquito repellent. So this is Mrs. Bushwhacker's natural remedy for mosquitoes. It's alcohol rub and lemon lavender. Oh, selection of bandages in there. So there's bits and pieces in there. So that's that bag. This is me fire lighting kit, guys. Got some tub of birch bark there, lighting quick fires. Some gel blocks, which my mate John gave me when we stayed at his off-grid cabin. So they're nice. Some more fire blocks when we light the charcoal for an outdoor fire or Dutch oven cooking, and some nice pieces of inner tube, guaranteed fire starter. So pretty covered on fire there. So here's all our spare blankets, just a throw there that I put down in the Oz tent as a carpet, which I like using. Mrs. Bushwhacker likes using this wool throw. You know, she's in the landy travelling or whatever, she's cold, she can just throw that round her, which is really nice. A couple of hot water bottles, ideal. Don't know what the weather's going to be like in Scotland, so might be a bit cold, or if you're damp or whatever, lovely to have a hot water bottle. It's got his and hers. Another blanket or throw, which is really nice. I decide to sleep out in the tent or in the Oz tent. It's another blanket for us. There's another one in the back of the landy, but I won't pull that one out, it's tucked behind the seat. Sleeping bag, obviously we got bedding up in the rooftop tent, but this is great, you know, if you want to sleep outside or in the hammock. Mrs. Bushwhacker's bringing hers as well, so that's great. And then in here, gloves, hats, all different variations of hats. So we're covered there. So all this gear here, guys, lives in the passenger side where the seat was. We've got waterproof jackets that hang up in there. Mine and Mrs. Bushwhacker's. Good pair of walking boots each. So they live in there as well. So we're quite covered for the elements. So like I said, trousers and top, and I've got another jacket there as well. And a nice couple of spare hats with the torches on. So come in handy. Chuck them on the pile. This is my vehicle first aid. Obviously we're covered by the breakdown service, but it's nice to carry some of your own bits. Got a nice socket set there and a nice compressor. We've got to air down and air up, so they're on board. And this is one of my bags that clips onto my cage on the back. So in here I've got my Garmin, go on a walk, does all OS mapping. That's a great piece of kit. That's all rechargeable as well, so that lives in there. And then all my electrical stuff, spare batteries, chargers for my walkie-talkies, and all different leads and bits and pieces for other equipment. So that all lives in there. That's like our electrical bag. And talking of the walkie-talkies, I'll go and get them and show you them. So these live on the driver's headrests, and the torches clip onto the torches. They're excellent, so I have one of them each when we go separate, or we camp separate or whatever. So we're always in contact because we might not get a signal up Scotland. But great pieces of kit, especially if one of you's out the vehicle and the other one's got to guide you, so you have to do all that shouting. So they're on board. How am I going, guys? Are you bored yet or not? So we'll have a walk round, see what we've got so far. As you can see, what I've been explaining, you'll be able to pick it out. I think I've gone through everything so far. But like I said, it's surprising what you can get in a Land Rover. But I think this should cover us for our trip. Like I said, we just need a little bit more food. And we'll be there, I think. So a few more bits I want to show you, and then I'll take you up onto the roof. If you can think of anything I've left out, sorry, let me know in the comments. Anything you think I should add. So I've pretty much emptied it now, and in the corner there I've got my little shovel that I use. I won't get that out. A lot of you have seen it, but if you haven't, it's just a little foldable shovel. And then a couple of spare jackets, warm jacket, Mrs. Bushwhackers. That's hanging up there nicely. That's where all the other waterproofs live. And then a fire extinguisher. God, the back looks really empty now. And there's the cage where a lot of that stuff hangs. So this is pretty much the back emptied out. Just a few little odds and sods there, doubles of what I've shown you. And obviously our Crocs and me pie iron that I didn't show you. That should have gone in the cooking section, but that's there. And my brolly and my fire gloves. And a spare brush to sweep the van out. And there's another collapsible pot there. And that pouch there has got my catapult in there that's hanging up. So this is the door organiser. I pulled the fire kit out, that lives in that pouch there that I showed you earlier. That's all Mrs. Bushwhacker's bits and pieces and makeup and stuff, so that lives in there. And this one, got some strops for my knife. Little multi-tool, just a cheap one with a pair of pruners on. I always find a pair of pruners quite handy. That lives in there. I really like this because it's really easy to get at. What else have I got in here? A little catapult and a compass. And then we've got a selection of knives. This is Mrs. Bushwhacker's little knife, TBS knife, that lives in there. Nice little silky, processing the wood. A couple of other knives in there. So we're pretty sorted. Well, Mrs. Bushwhacker is anyway. That all lives in there. Like I said, really easy to get to if you want to do a bit of wood processing or carving. This stuff pretty much lives in here all the time. When you see me going out on my excursions, I haven't really had to swap a lot of this stuff out. And obviously my knife and a couple of ferro rods in there and a couple of large ferro rods. That's that compartment. And then in here it's just full of lighters and a box of matches, long matches. So sometimes you just want to start a easy fire, and a few lighters in there, nice and easy to get to. And in here, that's where my fishing kit lives in there, my lures and stuff. So that's pretty much the organiser. I think I've gone for every pocket. Yeah, I have. And then on the side, hanging up at the back, is my selection of knives. That's my big knife for processing timber. But like I said, these always live in the Land Rover, because you know I like the outdoors, so they're predominantly in there. And then my big silky saw. So that's 2 saws we got on board. It's a bit of a clean, that one. And then my small forest axe. So hopefully we might be able to have 1 or 2 fires. That all lives in the back there. That's pretty much what it looks like up top. We got the rooftop tent, 2-man rooftop tent at the back, the Oz tent along there, and then we wrap around awning, and a couple of ponchos live in there. So I've still got a bit of space there to utilise, whether I do or not I don't know, and a little bit of space there. And my handy holdall, I've got a few other little bits to put in there, but it's predominantly, you know, what we're taking. We've just got to put another bag of charcoal in there for our trip. But that's our chairs up there. Nice waterproof bag. And a jerry can, 20 litres. So I'm going to fill that up before we go. That's empty at the moment. And then my CB aerial. So that's the roof covered. So I'm really glad you come with me on the walk around. Hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. Like I said, if you think of anything I've forgotten, let me know in the comments. And that's the book I've got. I've been reading that for a while. It's North Coast 500. It's got all the details of lovely places to visit and the history. So I'll be using this as reference as we're travelling through the journey, trying to relay some of this information back to you guys. But really detailed, gives you step by step instructions from place to place. So awesome piece of reference, and some lovely pictures in here as well. But if you're thinking about going, that's definitely a great book. And the map on the back shows you roughly where we're going. And that's me Roger Moore deterrent. Looks really good. I see it on a friend's car the other day and I thought, oh, that's really excellent. When you leave your vehicle, it looks like someone's sitting in it. So that's another security measure for Land Rovers. So that's it. So the next video you'll see is from me, is from when we hit the road, me and Mrs. Bushwhacker. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in Scotland. Enjoy the great outdoors. Don't forget to subscribe and support me on Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys.